Well, hello, and welcome to my home. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Wilbur Wilson, but you can call me Wilbur. Isn't it nice during these cold winter evenings to sit around a fire, roasting chestnuts, and listening to some nice music with your friends? Tonight, you can be my friend as we sit around and play some holiday songs. I have a new song for you to learn tonight. It all started with a coworker humming the tune to the 12 Days of Christmas. We started singing the song when we both realized neither one of us knew all the words. It's so hard to remember who drums where and who dances when, so we decided to make up our own words of the song. Now at my job, I drive a school bus for First Student. Yes, that's right, I'm a school bus driver. I love driving all those little children to and from school, but sometimes it's hard to remember all the safety rules we have to follow. We have a lot of rules. So we decided to rewrite the words to some of the safety rules to help us remember them as we are at work. Since it was so close to the holiday break, we decided to call the song The 12 Days Till School Break. For the 12th day, we picked And There Were No Children Left Behind, because at the end of the route, it is very important that we check our buses and make sure there are no children on the bus before we leave. So for the 12th day of the song, it goes like this. On the 12th day till school break, the drivers did their search, and there were no children left behind. Our next day, the 11th day, we decided that looking up and down the aisle was also very important. Little children can crawl under the seats, and you could miss them if they were hiding, if you didn't go down the aisles and check every seat on the bus. So, checking all the seats became our next line to the song. Let's sing it now. On the 11th day till school break, the drivers did their search, checking all the seats, and there were no children left behind. Not only do we have to look for the children on our buses, but we also have to watch them as they get off the bus. We need to make sure that they are a safe distance away from the bus and safely across any streets before we continue driving. So for the 10th day, we picked Looking High and Low, because we look high and low and everywhere they go as they head home. Let's add this line to the song. On the 10th day till school break, the drivers did their search, looking high and low, checking all the seats, and there were no children left behind. Our dispatcher heard us working on our song and added that hearing the safety messages every day help us remember the safety rules too. So the 9th day became Hearing Messages of Safety. Let's listen to see how that sounds. On the 9th day till school break, the drivers did their search, hearing messages of safety, looking high and low, checking all the seats, and there were no children left behind. So when it came to the 8th day till school break, which matched up to the 5 gold rings part of the song, we wanted it to be just as big and just as fun. We picked I Cared, I Searched, I Found, which is exactly what we're supposed to do every time we drive our buses. We care enough to search each and every time to find any children that didn't get off the bus. This was always my favorite part of the original song, and it's my favorite part in this song too. Let's sing. On the 8th day till school break, the drivers did their search. I cared, I searched, I found. Hearing messages of safety, looking high and low, checking all the seats, and there were no children left behind. Now at this point, our mechanic came in and said, "Hey, what about checking the child checkmate system on the bus? That's important." And it is. Keeping our child checkmate system working properly ensures that we walk to the back of the bus to turn it off. If we don't, then the horn blows. Beep, beep. So our 7th day became Checking Safety Systems. Let's add this part to our song. On the 7th day till school break, the drivers did their search, checking safety systems. I cared, I searched, I found. hearing messages of safety, looking high and low, checking all the seats, and there were no children left behind. We were all having a great time making up the new words of the song when two drivers walked in. One said she had 35 children on her bus, and the other said he had 50. Wow, that's a lot of children. As drivers, we count our children every day at every school. We also count them as they leave the bus. Well, you might ask yourself, why is that important to count them as they leave the bus? Well, if 10 children get off the bus at the stop, and I only see 9 walk away, then I'm missing a child. What if that child dropped a pencil in front of my bus and bent down to pick it up? I may not see them. That would not be good. We count the children as they leave to make sure everyone is safely away from the bus before we drive away. So our 6th day became counting all the children. Our list is getting pretty long now. Let's try it. On the 6th day till school break, the drivers did their search, counting all the children, checking safety systems. I cared, I searched, I found, hearing messages of safety, looking high and low, checking all the seats, and there were no children left behind. Well, with 50 children on a bus, things can get pretty distracting. It's hard at times to pay attention to the road and make sure the children are safely sitting in their seats. We talk with the children and explain to them the importance of the safety rules and how to make the bus ride safer. This helps with distractions, which gave us our 5th day, avoiding all distractions. On the 5th day till school break, the drivers did their search, avoiding all distractions, counting all the children, checking safety systems. I cared, I searched, I found, hearing messages of safety, looking high and low, checking all the seats, and there were no children left behind. Our song was coming along nicely, and everyone was having lots of fun putting it together, when one of the drivers asked our mechanic if he'd fixed the headlight on his bus. Well, that caught our attention. Not only do we need to make sure everyone is safe inside the bus, but we need to make sure all the lights are on and working outside the bus. If we can't see the road because of a bad headlight, or other drivers can't see us because the clearance lights don't work, then that wouldn't be a very safe drive, would it? The 4th day became lights are on, the day is dimming, to remind us to turn our lights on for safety. Let's add that to the list. On the 4th day till school break, the drivers did their search. Lights are on, the day is dimming, avoiding all distractions, counting all the children, checking safety systems. I cared, I searched, I found, hearing messages of safety, looking high and low, checking all the seats, and there were no children left behind. Well, our song was almost complete when one of our drivers came in late. She told us she found a little girl asleep on her bus, and the little girl missed her stop. Fortunately, the driver checked her bus, going up and down the aisle looking for sleeping children. That gave us our 3rd day, never missing sleeping children. The little girl arrived home safely because the driver took the time to check her bus for sleeping children. On the 3rd day till school break, the drivers did their search, never missing sleeping children. Lights are on, the day is dimming, avoiding all distractions, counting all the children, checking safety systems. I cared, I searched, I found, hearing messages of safety, looking high and low, checking all the seats, and there were no children left behind. With the last driver in for the day, our supervisor walked outside and checked all the buses. She checked to see if every driver went to the back of the bus and hung a sign saying, "This bus has been checked for sleeping children." This sign lets our supervisor know that the bus has been checked by the driver and that there were no children left behind. This inspired us for our 2nd day, empty buses, signs a-hanging. Let's sing. On the second day till school break, the drivers did their search. Empty buses, signs are hanging, never missing sleeping children. Lights are on, the day is dimming, avoiding all distractions, counting all the children, checking safety systems. I cared, I searched, I found, hearing messages of safety, looking high and low, checking all the seats, and there were no children left behind. So we made it to the last day of the song. There were quite a few of us around the table by now, from drivers and dispatchers to mechanics and supervisors. It took us a while to come up with the last line of the song. We were looking for just the right way to sum everything up. We all decided, at the end of the day, our job is to make sure every child goes home safely. Nobody asleep or hiding on the bus. Everyone off the bus and across the street safely. All the signs are hung and everything is secure before we leave our buses. So for the last line of the song, it became all the children arriving safely, which is what we strive for each and every day we drive our buses, to make sure your children are transported as safely as possible. So our song was complete. We changed all 12 days of the song to our 12 safety messages. Now, these aren't all the safety rules we follow, but they are all important. Everything we do when driving our buses, it's about safety. If we can't do it safely, we don't do it. It's that important to us. So let's put the song together and sing the whole thing. I hope you were paying attention to all the words. Follow along with me if you can. On the last day till school break, the drivers did their search. All the children arriving safely. Empty buses, signs are hanging, never missing sleeping children. Lights are on, the day is dimming, avoiding all distractions, counting all the children, checking safety systems. I cared, I searched, I found, hearing messages of safety, looking high and low, checking all the seats, and there were no children left behind. Wow, that sure was fun. Well, that's all the time we have tonight, I'm afraid. It sure was nice meeting all of you, and hopefully we can get together again. So from me and mine to you and yours, happy holidays.